Does it go down?
Oh, there we go.
Hey guys. All right. It is Monday and we're at happy hour. Cheers. And I'm here with Danny J. You guys know her. Make sure you are following her. Hopefully you guys can hear us, but we wanted to talk about one-on-one clients. So a lot of you guys have asked in Action Academy, how do I get more one-on-one clients? How do I get out of the gym? How do I start making money online? And Danny has a ton of experience with network marketing and doing a lot of one-on-one sales. So I wanted to get her on to ask some of the best practices. So if you were someone who was working full-time in the gym right now.
And I was.
Yep, you were. How would you start to get online clients besides just growing your audience and your trust? Like, that takes time.
Yeah.
But like, what can people do this week to start getting maybe a couple of clients?
Yeah, my audience, like, obviously you grow your audience online, but sometimes it feels like your audience is just your family and friends. But that's where a lot of some of my first clients and online clients came from. There were people that I had in person, and it was interesting. I would do it at a time where, like, they were maybe saying, like, I might see somebody 3 days a week and they needed to cut back because of finances or because of time, and I would give them an option of saying, hey, you can continue with me in person, or we can cut back to once a week and I can start emailing you your workouts and your nutrition, and you can do it on your own, and we can still have that check-in. And some of my clients in person actually moved straight to that. So they learned enough from me. They were with me for long enough that they knew the exercises. They didn't know what to do when they were in the gym alone. So they really just wanted to be told. But at this point, like, they knew the mechanics.
Yeah.
So it helped them financially. It helped me with my getting my time back. It helped them pay a little bit less money, and it also still kept them accountable. So some of them moved fully to online, and then we just did like email accountability where they sent me pictures and measurements, or I might meet with them once a month. But starting with your in-person clients and maybe asking them if they want to do something like that, so it's a little more flexible for them, really was a big deal.
Yeah, I love that. And so it sounds like you have to take a little bit of a pay cut at first because you are going to make it more affordable for them, because you want to get, like Danny said, you want to get your time back, because when you have more autonomy over your time, you're able to create more lead magnets to get new emails, write blogs or do posts online or create a product that is a DIY product that you can sell much more of. So I love that idea, and I think a lot of people would probably take you up on that. It's a little bit scary, but it sounds like it's a great way to start.
Well, it's interesting too, because what I did, there are certain times that are more popular than others, right? Like 5 and 6 p.m. or maybe even 7 p.m. on weekdays.
Yep.
So I also had people with similar goals train at the same time, so I kind of cleared that time slot for my online and then pushed together and made group clients. So I still ended up making, like, if I didn't get that hour back, although if it was like 5 a.m. I would try to get the hour back, obviously, because I'm not a morning person. But if I still was going to be there like 6 p.m., I could get rid of one person, put them online, and then fill that spot with 2 to 5 people and make more money in that same hour. So I think that's a way to get back. And then eventually, obviously, you're trying to get out completely or not have to be somewhere. So like, start with like your end hours, like the end ones, like the morning and late nights. Try to clear those. And start with the people you have in person, because they know you.
They know you, they trust you already. And the second thing is, especially for you guys, if you're thinking about things that you can do this week, a lot of you guys probably could make a list of 10 to 20 people even that you consider to be what we call like a warm lead or like a hot lead. There's someone who has, maybe they've reached out to you in the past, they know you're a trainer, maybe they're not local, but they've reached out to you in the past to talk about health or fitness or nutrition, and you know that they are interested in like getting better, right? So you probably sent them like a, hey, try this, or like you sent them to a blog, or you send them to someone else even. Those people, you guys can make a list of them, and what I would personally do is reach out and send them a private invite. I would send them a private invitation to join you for online training. It sounds like they're probably already interested. If they've sent you messages, or especially if it's like a really long DM, I'm sure if you guys have gotten those from family, friends, acquaintances, the longer the DM, the more like kind of desperate the person is. So you want to think about, how can I position this as a service? And I know it sounds kind of strange, like you're going to ask someone for money, but really it's not unsolicited because they've come to you before. So when you position it as a service and you say, hey, I thought of you because I'm moving into online training now. I know you don't live nearby, but you and I have gone back and forth a couple times about your fitness and nutrition, and I wanted to offer you a spot. They actually, I know it's kind of weird, but they actually feel flattered that you thought of them. And you can say, I only have a couple of spots, right? So that's kind of that urgency language, that scarcity language. I only have a couple spots, and I'm going to be opening up training in a bigger way online next week or next month. So let me know within the next day or two, like give them a deadline. So I have to get back to you, but create that like urgency and scarcity and say, I only have a couple of slots that I'm looking to fill like right now. And as soon as you do, like we'll be off and running, and just come with the confidence and come with the conviction and take care of them in that. And don't approach it like super professionally, by the way. You don't need to be like, hey, here's my sales page and like give them all the numbers. Like just get the rapport, treat them like a friend that they are, treat them like an acquaintance that they are. And if you send that out to probably 10 to 15 people, I guarantee you're going to convert a handful of them, because people want to train, right? They just need the invitation to do it. And so that's something you can do without even actually having to post online or send an email to your list or do any of that stuff. You can actually reach out to people personally. Invitations.
I think it's so smart to do that, what Jill just said, because like sometimes we post, and honestly the way Instagram is, I see like 3 people these days.
Totally.
Unless they interact with you a lot, if you're not used to posting, it's kind of weird. And also with training, sometimes people don't want to let others know that they're trying to get a it's almost like they want to do it undercover, like, hey, I'm gonna like surprise everyone with my big reveal.
Right.
So sending the DMs and just like, hey, I just started this thing and thought of you, I know we've talked, and I know you've talked about wanting somebody just to tell you what to do, or your trainer.
Yep.
Hit me up and we're doing this, like just say we're doing the thing.
We're doing it.
Right? Like you just say you're
starting
doing
next
it,
week.
and
are you in?
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, we talk about this a lot. Like a lot of it has to do with confidence and conviction, right? Because someone's hiring you to take care of them, right? They want to just give the reins over to you. So when you come with that confidence and that level of conviction of like, I got this, I've done this a million times, and you are the one who takes charge of the conversation, because they don't know, and they don't know that you don't know either. So you might be new to it, and you're like, well, I don't know, Jill, I've never done this before. But you have to act like you because you can. You'll figure it out along the way. So number one, seeing if some of your in-person clients will go online. Number two, reaching out to people personally. And after all of that, if you've exhausted those, then you can kind of do more of a blast online. And again, using the urgency and scarcity language, like how many spots do you have? You might only have a handful. You can say, this is something new. I'm not going to take on a lot of clients. I want to make sure that we have a lot of one-on-one time. So I'm not going to take a lot of people. I want to make sure that we have the time together, etc. So the person, again, feels super taken care of. And so you can do that, and you can say, hey, if you're interested, send me a DM. So without having to put like all the information, don't put the pricing, don't put like all the deliverables and all that kind of stuff. You don't need to be super professional about it. Once they say yes, or they want to know more, at that point you can share some of that stuff with them, and maybe you just say, hey, let's get on the phone and just see like where you're at and see if this is going to be a good fit. Because again, it just comes down to you having the abundance mindset of like, I don't need this client. It would be nice to have it, but I don't need this person. And when you approach it like that, and you always say, one thing you always say, which is having a lot of people in the pipeline. So yes. Having a list of people that could potentially be good clients, and you guys know these people, like they're friends with them on Facebook, they're acquaintances, they're people you went to high school with, they are people who are super fans, they're always liking your stuff, right? Like those are going to be good candidates for this.
What happens too is like once you get with them, they're going to start, everybody has connections to other people, so totally. You can ask for referrals. A lot of times people will just give you referrals anyway, but you may just say, hey, I'm looking for, maybe it's a friend that you know they don't need training, or they're not going to, but they're maybe well connected and they're friends with, like, maybe you work with moms, totally. And they go to church with a lot of moms. You just reach out like, hey, I'm starting this thing. Do you know any moms? I'm actually looking for like 5, and I know you're really well connected and you could probably hook me up. And you could just ask a handful of your friends who have a circle of influence for their recommendations, and a recommendation goes a long way.
Well, and also, if you guys, if it is someone who's like fairly well connected, you might want to give them the option to train with you for free even. I know a lot of people who are really successful doing one-on-one training who train people for free who are maybe influencers online, or they have a big network, because they know that if they get one single shout out by that person, that their business is going to grow exponentially. So like you can also give like kind of targeted strategic partnerships or freebies. And I did a lot of free stuff early on, you guys. You kind of have to be not scared to, it's kind of like you need to earn the right to charge more. And it's not to say you don't own your worth. I think a lot of people don't own their worth fully, but I think it's okay to, especially if you're a little bit scared, to do something for free just to get your feet wet and kind of use it as like a little bit of a beta test, and also get some testimonials, right? To get some like character references and things that you can use in the future. That's going to be key as well. So I think that's pretty good. Obviously this is a lot of different things, and the easier it gets, the bigger the platform you build. But I think this is a great way to start. Like honestly, this week I would love for you guys to reach out to 5 to 10 people and try to convert a couple of them, and then you can respond back and tell us how you did.
I can't wait.
Anything else to add?
Just do it.
We're making a little bit of
I'm
scene
excited for you.
here at the
It kind of makes me want to go reach out to 5 people right now.
I know. Anyone else, anyone want coaching for free from Danny?
Hey, not for free.
All right, you guys have a great night, and we will see you later.